there's a big price difference here. Welcome everyone, James here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the ITC-3 Smart Thermostat by Inkbird. Now, I was kindly gifted this product from Inkbird to test out, so I really appreciate them sending this to me to have a look at. Yeah, I'm really excited, so yeah, let's check it out. So before we get started, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on weekly videos of mine. I put out weekly videos on all my fish keeping antics, from tips, tricks, reviews, and a whole lot more, so hopefully there's something for everybody. Right, let's get to it. All right then, here it is, the Inkbird. So, box-wise, actually feels like really nice cardboard that they've used. I don't know if that matters to some, but it feels good quality. It's quite sturdy. Yeah, not much to say really more about the box. Kind of says what it does. Let's see if I can get it open. See what we got inside. So it seems like the product's well packed. Get a nice little warranty card there, 12 months warranty, which is really good. Looks like the instruction manual and instruction to feel too cheap or anything. Looks like the buttons are a bit yeah, I think that looks okay. And one thing I do like, unlike the Nycree one that I reviewed recently, you got your hook here and the dials are the right way, which is just something that I don't understand why they did wrong on the other one. And yeah, here you've got the probe, which is yeah, a lot longer, thicker cable there. So yeah, all seems good. Let's get it hooked up and see what happens. Alright, so we've got it set up now, so yeah, let's take a look. So here's the bad boy. I'll be honest, doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing as maybe the Nycree one, because the Nycree one was sideways. I thought it was going to look better having it down. Maybe on my rack is probably why. The only thing that I would say is there's a bit of a faff, because you've got this unit here, and then obviously you've got the additional cooling unit here, and at the moment this is just hanging here. The cable was just about long enough to get to the adapter down on the floor, but again, this sort of annoys me that it's It's a little bit like I had to use a bigger hook there just to keep the thing in place because it's that weighted down. The only other thing was, if you can see the probe in the back there, it's the one that's silver behind the black one. It doesn't have like a suction cup. Not that obviously that does much difference according to the, the black one there as well, but yeah, I mean, the unit's in. Looks like it's measuring in degrees Fahrenheit at the moment, so I need to figure out how to change that. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is get the app hooked up. Obviously, I'm recording on my phone, so I can't connect it whilst I'm recording. So I'm going to have a quick look at the app and then yeah, see if we can get it set up to work. Okay, so this is the home screen. You press add, select your device. So ours is the 308 here. Yeah, confirm indicator is rapidly blinking. Yeah, it looks like it. So it only works on 2G. Wi-Fi password in. Alright, let's see if we can connect to it. Okay, so it looks like it didn't find anything on the network, which is hilarious. So let's try again. So I'm just going to go onto the device itself. It's got the Wi-Fi signal flashing, so I don't understand why it's not. No idea. So it looks like we've done it. Right, and this is the temperature. This is where you can set the difference. Ah, that's what we want. Now everything makes a bit more sense. Cooling difference, yeah, I think I'd keep that there. Yeah, that's about right. So at the bottom there, as you can see, the bottom of the screen, about 25 degrees is what we want it. It's currently in the tank at 27 degrees, so it's measuring pretty much the exact same. What I'll do now is I'll go back to the camera mode and we'll take a look. I don't think there's much else on the app, but you can see at the moment temperature trends, which is pretty cool. You can sort of set the location, various other different settings there, but I think for the most part it's pretty much what you get. It's very similar to a different app I have on my phone, so they must use the same sort of operating sort of system on this, or software should I say. Home management, we've got nothing there. Got access to the Inkbird shop there, support and messages, which is pretty cool, so you can sort of message. Oh, hello. Oh, I'll just go into my Amazon Echo. Be interesting to see what you can do with the device via Alexa, especially with like commands, because what my turn. Oh, I get it. Okay, so you can connect this to different other pieces of equipment, and maybe you could use Alexa to control certain devices. I guess there could be a need for it. I don't think so for me at the moment, but yeah, it's pretty cool having access to an app though. I really like the idea of that, so I can keep an eye on my temperatures whilst I'm out of my house. And I like the fact that you can set sort of an alert as well, so if it goes over a certain temperature, then we can say alert us. So I think if anyone's listened to any of my podcasts over, well, it might not come out yet, but most fish can tolerate well, some fish can tolerate temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius. So I'm gonna go down to about 35. Anything over that, then I want this app to alert me. I think that's good. Alright then, so there's a temperature, it's given a reading of 27.3. It's weird that it flickers on the camera there. I think it's the LED on the actual screen because it doesn't do it on the Nycree one, but like you can see it's 27.1. This one says 27.2 to 1, so roughly the same temperature. It's kicked in the cooling fan, which is really good. I know I've got the lid on at the moment, but yeah, I just wanted to trial it and see if it actually kicked in the fan. So yeah, we'll give it a good run over the next few weeks then, and then we'll check in and see how we get on. Alright then, so it's been about a month now since having the product set up and working on my aquarium. So what do I think of it? Well, let's get to the first point. Compared to the Nycree, the Inkbird is about £45.99. That's British pounds, and the Nycree one was about £15 that I paid for it. So there's a big price difference here. So in terms of build quality, I do think the Inkbird does have the edge on this. The Nycree one is a bit more flimsy, and I feel like if you did drop it in the wrong way, it probably would crack the covering that's to it, whereas the Inkbird seems like it could take a bit of a battering. I don't want to get a hammer to it, but I think that if I did, it probably would take a little bit more abuse than the other one, so that's really good. In terms of the measurements of the temperature, both devices measure exactly the same, so I can only assume that that's pretty much on point to what my water is. In terms of functionality, well, the Nycree one has a bit more of a physical button to press, and there's a really loud beep to it. The Inkbird, the buttons are kind of integrated behind the sort of the front panel sort of thing, so they're a bit more push button. It's really hard to explain unless you try it, but there's not really much difference, to be honest. In trial, I suppose the Inkbird is a bit more waterproof there because the buttons are covered by a waterproof covering, whereas the Nycree ones aren't. So I suppose if there was water leaked onto it, maybe you'd have an issue there. With regards to the way that it functions, I think that the Inkbird definitely has the edge on this one with the app. I think the app is a really good app. I found it really easy to use. The Nycree one was a bit of a pain using the actual device itself because to try and program it and read the manual was a bit difficult. I mean, it's not impossible or anything. I just found it a bit tedious, I suppose. Whereas the app, it was really easy to connect to the device, and once I had the app open, then I could configure it the way that I wanted, which was really good. I really love the fact that you had the measurement on your phone, so you could see what your temperature was of your aquarium when you're not in your house. And also, I really like the fact that you can set a temperature sort of notification. So if it reaches a certain temperature level that's maybe too high or too cold, then the app will alert you. So I thought that was a really good bonus there. I think that's definitely the reason why I enjoyed it the most, is that just to have that bit more peace of mind, knowing that if the temperature did get out of control, then I'd know about it and be able to react to it a bit more quicker. In terms of the unit, I think that this was the interesting one because I remember griping, I think, a little in my previous video with the Nycree one about the fact that it was horizontal, and yeah, it would be cool if you could turn it the other way so you could have it laid out. Well, the Inkbird obviously does that, and I found, ironically, that to be a bit of a pain, especially in the setup that I've got. I think if you were to use that, it would probably be a lot better, you know, for most people that have a cabinet under their aquarium and they can screw the actual unit to the back of the cabinet and then the plugs to it as well. But in the sense of the Inkbird you've got the unit and then you've got the plugs hanging off it on a separate cable, which is a bit of a pain, especially if you've got a racking system like mine, because it kind of flaps all over the place. Whereas the Nycrew one, I felt I could sort of mount it a bit more horizontal and it would stay there. The plug in the actual unit was probably the most eyesore part of it, but yeah, it's just funny. But I suppose it's just a little bugbear of mine that, you know, being the fact that I've got a racking system, it's a little bit awkward and a bit more of an eyesore, I guess. I think the big question for me is the Inkbird worth the money over the Nycrew model? And being the fact that there is so much hype over this product on social media and throughout the hobby, it's always difficult to know if these products are being pushed because of influencers or if it's actually a good product. And from my personal point of view, I do think that it is a really good product. The build quality is definitely there. The app is really good, actually. I thought, because normally you get really crappy apps that come with certain devices, so I actually felt like it really worked well. And the other thing that I really liked is the customer service from Inkbird themselves. It's been really great. I mean, they've constantly kept in touch and sort of asked for my feedback. They haven't sort of pushed me to make any kind of assumptions myself to the review. And of course, with the Nycrew, you don't really get much customer service support because they don't have a lot of social media presence or web presence. It's actually quite hard to get hold of the actual manufacturers. I think one last thing to point out, which is obviously the most important thing, they both do exactly the same thing and they both work just fine. I've had no problems with the functionality of the Inkbird or anything going wrong with it. It clicks on when I need it to with the timer, and when the temperature reaches the level that I need it to. So yeah, it works really well. I think that's it really in terms of the products. I think that, again, if you really want to go for the Inkbird, it's a really great product. You're definitely paying the price for the product, and of course you get everything that comes with the package and the price, so it's definitely a big benefit to it. If you want to go for something a bit more budget friendly and that does the job really well, again, I've had this Nycrew one now for a few months. I think it's about 3 months now, and it's worked really well for me so far. So again, it's all personal choice, but yeah, I really enjoyed using the Inkbird and will continue to do so in my aquariums. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think of the Inkbird thermostats and also the Nycrew ones in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what other ways you do to measure your aquarium water. Do you use smart devices or do you just use the old school thermostat? Definitely let me know in the comments, and if you want to support the channel, all the links to my Patreon, my merch store, and even my social media feeds, if you want to get in touch with me on different platforms, they're all in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and until next time, you stay safe.